So cloud is another word that is frequently mentioned, but people's definitions sometimes differ. What does cloud mean to you?
The first thing we need to understand about cloud is there is no cloud. You're really just using other people's computers. So the question that you have to ask yourself is, how can I best make use of other people's computers? And for me, we want to do as much as possible on other people's computers. And we want to do that in a way that we don't have startup costs, we don't have termination costs, and we only pay for what we use, and that it's in a secure environment.
So what do you think is driving the shift to these new industry models? Is it specific to Philips, or does it apply more widely?
I think what we're looking at is a huge transformation in the way we do business. Scale is no longer an advantage. Speed is the advantage. So the next innovation could come from two guys in India with an iPhone. It's not necessarily coming out of these, historically significant R&D centers. So what that means is that every company has to be more open. Every company has to think about changing the way it runs its supply chain, how it finds the new talent, and that's not just people, but also goods, services, how it connects to them, and how it connects them to its brand. And I think that's going to be true for every major enterprise. If we look at the new century, the IT infrastructure has become incredibly dynamic. And there's so much change, so many providers, and assets change all the time, which you could argue that the value of an asset is almost zero from the moment that it's put into service. Now, that's a very different way of working, because now instead of telling them what assets and how those assets are used, the focus is much more on outcomes. And so it's very exciting, but it's only really exciting if you're on top of the change, if you have your strategy intact, and if people like me are providing the infrastructure as a service to the enterprise that enables them to take advantage of all these fantastic opportunities.